Hello, love. Welcome to Feeling Fridays. This is the second edition devoted to the empath journey and the empath collective, also part of the Elsh collective, of course, that goes without saying. Getting right into this message that we want to share with you, us, each other. It's feeling like it wants to come through as an energetic update as to where we are at on the empath journey, regarding growth, regarding healing, regarding understanding the transmutation of energies as an empath. A lot of things wanting to come through here, and really they just want me to get started. And when I say they here, the energies of Mother Mary coming through here, along with Mama Iset, Mother Isis, and the Sisterhood of the Rose. Before they even came through, there's something here about your light, because we're asking through the Work Your Light Oracle and the Light Seer's Tarot. This is what I was guided to do the reading with today, and using through these decks. And very much about this, I'm not sure there's a lot that wants to come through, but they just kind of want me to get into the cards, but also to set it up at the same time, right? I'm feeling a lot of practical hands-on energy here. We're working with the energies here of Rhodonite, self-love, rose quartz for the heart space, and I'm getting protection of the heart space with this as well, and selenite, clearing, cleansing your energy, but also attuning yourself to higher frequencies around the heart when it comes to energies that we need to become aware of what needs transmuting, okay? Clearing and transmuting. So I'm curious to see what's going to come through. They kind of just want me to get started. This is going to be partly what they're guiding me here to, is that this is going to be partly timely, as always, right? In the sense of this is going to touch upon an energetic update as to where we are at in our empath journeys collectively, as empaths collectively. And they want me to specify here, they're actually showing me a snake, they're showing me the rod of Asclepios, they're showing me the healing that is taking place and the transformation, transmutation of energies around the empath journey, and specifically understanding the true nature of empathy. Empathy as a power, as a strength. They want us to shift our focus out of a kind of victimhood consciousness. They're also directing me to the fact that this is a lot of what is happening right now. There's an energy amongst the empath collective. They're showing me like lights. They're showing me each of our individual lights of consciousness, our souls, all over the earth. I'm seeing Mama Gaia, like when we see Mama Gaia from a satellite at night and all the lights start going on. That's what they're showing me. And they're showing me that this is what is happening. More empaths along their empath journey are understanding the true nature of empathy is empowerment. Empowerment of yourself and empowerment of others. It's not about victimhood consciousness. It's not about overgiving. It's not about, let me fix you. Oh, they really want to touch upon that. So on that note, I'm going to start asking through the Work Your Light Oracle. There's something here, again, about this is how you shine your light. This is how you shine your light. And they're specifically wanting me to use the phrase here, light of truth. Light of truth. The light of love and truth. The light of love and truth is what's coming through here, okay? And it's crazy because it's an overcast day here, but the light, when it wants to come through, it wants to come through, right? Wow, that's a lot. Okay, they want me to take these two and put these back. Okay. Okay. Birthing a new age. We've had this one come up before, right? Birthing new creations, dreaming a new world into being. This is what we are here for, especially if you resonate as a light worker, is what I'm hearing. A light worker and an empath. Star seeds as light workers, the same thing. The expansion of consciousness, the expansion of this understanding of what it truly means to be an empath, the expansion of this around your relationships, that you essentially signed up to as an empath for this journey in order to better understand relationships. The true nature of love is what I'm hearing. And they're showing me a rose that is unfolding. And it's funny because there's a card from this deck called the Ever Unfolding Rose, I think. And the caption at the bottom is, "It's happening for you, not to you." Dance with life. I absolutely love this card. Do something to change your energy. This is a nod to transmutation and the great gathering. It's all coming together. Intuitive hits and soul tribe. Okay, so this is a collective message here of this happening at a collective level. More understanding around how to transmute energies, because they're directing me back to this analogy of empaths being like a sponge, okay? And that we just pick up on energies. That's how we're made. That's how we're built, right? Is what I'm hearing. We are built that way. We are built to be like spidey senses. We pick up on energies because we are connected. And that is essentially this birthing of a new age. Connection, unity, consciousness is connected to this specifically, right? This is what we are here to show the world. We are here to be examples of this is how you shine your light. Being able to listen to people, listen to souls, hear their prayers is what I'm hearing. Hear their hearts, right? This is an energy that is healing to the world. And oftentimes what they're directing me to is that empaths don't realize it, but even just by being an empath and being yourself, you don't even have to do anything. We have this concept of healing like it's supposed to be something specific, right? Like energy healing looks a certain way, for example. And while that is true and that there are aspects like that, your vibration, your energy signature, your presence in this world already does that to people, okay? This is a realization. It feels like this is a realization that many empaths are getting right now. And also the transmutation of energy. This is what they really want me to focus on. It's interesting because I'm going to just hold this up while I tune into this a little bit. So they're showing me like, okay, the figure on this card, it looks like she's moving in circles, right? She's going with the flow. There's sort of a mirror aspect going on here, one to the other. And this mirroring aspect is reflecting the way the energy of an empath works. So you, in conversation with someone, for example, feel their energy, and oftentimes this is very unconscious. This is very unconscious, where it's just you're picking up on their energy and you're mirroring back to them what it is that you are feeling from them. It's like you're a mirror to them. The question is, do you show that mirror back to them. This is what they're showing me. I hope that this is making sense, because in one scenario, you're mirroring to yourself how they are feeling without mirroring it back to them. In the second scenario, you're mirroring how they're feeling back to them for them to see it. And this goes back to, it's funny because going into this, I heard shine light on unseen places or in dark places. And this is what they mean by that. They mean, are you allowing that person to see their energy for what it is? And they're specifically showing me situations where perhaps someone is being very unconscious to the fact that they are energetically a certain way, or they're feeling a certain way, and how it's very important for you to be able, as an empath, to mirror that back to them and not succumb to energies perhaps that are very overwhelming coming from them. And don't forget that in certain situations, when this happens, they walk away feeling better, but you've taken on all of that. And it's incredibly, that can be very tiring. It can be incredibly exhausting. Like they're showing me a person now being sucked in like quicksand, like into the earth. It can happen so fast. And so much of it is around being aware and moving this energy in a certain way. That's sort of the second part of this card here. It's this taking that energy, and how are you then transmuting it for yourself? This could be a whole other video. This could be a whole other message, because it goes so, they actually want me to pull from the Light Seer's Tarot now to get into that. Because how do we do that, right? How do we take those, I'm hearing boundaries right off the bat. So how do we do that? How do we transmute those energies? How do we take that energy, especially in situations where we feel like we've been dumped on emotionally? How do we take that energy then and transmute it? Now, they're showing me there's kind of two options here. So here's the selenite. I'm going to bring that in for this. You can clear that energy. And when you clear that energy in whatever way feels comfortable to you, and I feel like I'm going to do a separate video or message on this, because there are so many ways that you can do this, okay? And you don't need anything fancy, but you can always use what feels good for you too, right? It's so unique to everybody. There's a myriad of ways that you can cleanse your energy, okay? But bringing in this energy of selenite, okay? So selenite, they want me to use the analogy here of this crystal itself. Selenite doesn't need to be cleansed. It's one of those crystals that does not require cleansing because of the frequency that it emits, right? And the energy that it holds. It's very light, excuse me. It's got a very light energy, right? And it reflects, this is what they're showing me, just like the mirror with this dance, right? Dance with life. It reflects energy. That's how they're showing it to me. This is great. This is crazy because there's a double message now, even with selenite coming through. So there's the message of this is clearing and cleansing, and that is one way that you are able to lift these energies off of you, right? When you've taken on too much. In that process, you can also transmute the energies. For example, as you clear your energy field, you can put forward the intention, you can say it out loud, you can say it in your mind, that you clear off of these energies, any energies that are not yours, that are not in alignment with your highest and greatest good, that are not what they're just saying to me in alignment with your energetic frequency and signature. Taking these energies, clearing them up, either up and out of the way, or transmuting them into love and truth, for example. Transmuting them into a deeper understanding of my own being, a deeper understanding of the lesson I needed to learn here. That's a twofold thing that's coming through. Well, yeah, that's exactly the cleansing. I hope this is all making sense. The cleansing, and then also the transmuting after you cleanse, as opposed to just giving it. Because I know that there are certain practices, for example, where you give that to, let's say you clear yourself and you give it to Mama Gaia, and you allow her to transmute it however she sees fit, and that's beautiful too. You communicating that to her and saying, take this energy from me, Mama Gaia, and use it how you see fit, right? But you can also be very intentional with how you transmute that. And when it comes to you transmuting it for something that is good for you in terms of what's in alignment for your highest and greatest good, that is also an option. Because energy never dies, right? It just kind of moves. It goes in different spots. And that's actually one of the things that they're showing me right now too, is that's a way for you to not feel so heavy or bad about the fact that, you know, you just sucked up a whole bunch of energy from someone. Because energy is fluid. Energy is actually it can be a lot lighter than we think it to be. Just like with this figure being lighter here compared to this one. You have to kind of look at energy as something that is much more easily transmutable than what we believe it to be. They're also showing me the breath and how breath is incredibly important with moving energy. That could be something that speaks to you as well. I find that to be very true. The last thing I'm going to say about selenite is they almost want you to visualize yourself as selenite. So any energy that is becoming into contact with you is being reflected back to the person that you are dealing with, okay? And again, these are in instances where this particular person perhaps is not necessarily sensitive to the fact that they are overloading a lot of their energy on people very unconsciously. Like, this isn't that it's done intentionally, right? I almost feel like this is a message specifically for people that maybe you are having to deal with, like in your family or friends, maybe who don't fully understand where you are at on your journey. Perhaps you're doing a lot of work on yourself and you're becoming much more aware of where little shadows pop up for yourself. You're doing the work and they are on a different path. They're not really there in terms of self-understanding and reflection. Also remember though, they're giving me another point here that sometimes people, just from their frequency and their energy, can be a little too much in terms of you, and they're not even saying anything. They don't even have to be in conversation with you. I mean, the mall is a perfect example. Like when you go out to the mall and like you can just feel something's up, right? Like weird wonky energy, or like something feels really heavy and down, and then you're like, what the heck is going on here, right? You can almost imagine yourself as a reflector of that. And you're obviously doing this. It's like a shield goes up almost. And going back to this selenite, right? You're just allowing those energies to bounce off of you. And again, with the intention of allowing those energies somehow to transmute, somehow to do some kind of, transmuting it into love, into understanding, into whatever you see or feel is fit, okay? So I'm going to get into, they want me to get into like kind of, I'm hearing nitty gritty. They want me to get into that nitty gritty of how this is possible and to also give you messages of soul support around this as well. Oh, nice. Yeah. But they're saying that it's really on the upkick, the world, as I cut the deck. Yeah. It's really interesting because when you look at this card, do you see how there's almost like a yin-yang thing going on here? We've got this white, this black, this woman on this wheel, right? Almost looking like, did I say, oh my God, did I say world? What is going on lately? It's because this is happening the world over. It's going back to the Great Gathering. This is a collective thing that's happening. And they're actually really, this is a very, they're saying this is a really, is positive the right word here? They're saying healthy. This is a really healthy thing that's happening with this. And they're showing me more empaths stepping into their power. More and more empaths stepping into their power. Now with the wheel, this is, they're showing me the cycles of energy and how they work through this wheel card, and how energy is cyclical, and that this is another nod to, you do not need to take it all on. There's a cycle to it. See it as like, it's like they're waves, and they come like waves back and forth. It's cyclical, right? It's this energy of like ebbing and flowing, and seeing energy in that way is a great way to start to understand that it can easily wash off of you, right? It comes in, but it goes out again. And then it's up to you again, how you're sending it out. What are you doing with that energy? How are you transmuting that energy, right? Yeah. Okay. So let's see. Some tangible little tips. They keep on showing me them all. Yeah, that could be a message for some of you specifically. Like, it's like you're finding it really difficult. And they're showing me people who are growing on their spiritual journey, becoming more sensitive, tapping more into their abilities as empaths, especially as they're speaking specifically here to clairsentience. And that it's really important. They keep on showing me shielding, energetic shielding, transmutation of energies, and also working on your vibration is incredibly important for making sure that you're not absorbing these energies. Okay, so we've got the Queen of Swords coming out here. She just flipped over a whole stack here. Yeah, it's about discernment and seeing the bigger picture and taking a step back. They're actually showing me us as empaths, after we come out of a particular situation with someone and we look back at it and we think, my God, like, how could I have handled this better? Two things here. Don't be so hard on yourself, because all of it is a journey. Second thing is you have to take the lesson from that and then apply it moving forward, because the Queen of Swords is very exacting. She's very truthful. There's almost an energy here of she protects her heart, right? I know that this is a bull, but it looks like a heart. And they're not saying that there's anything bad in this. This is the thing. It's not like this heart is closed off. Oh, they're talking about boundaries here. Yeah, this is about knowing your boundaries. And they're saying, if you know that public places are overwhelming for you, you need to be very intentional with the boundaries you set up. And I mean, life is life. You have to go out and you have to do things. But they're saying there are many, many things that can help you in this. How much time for even like mundane things, like how much time are you going to spend there? You give yourself a time limit. The work of crystals, shielding energies, calling upon your guides, your guardians, your wards, energies that like before you move into that mall, you say a prayer, you set an intention, okay? It is all about being aware and all about being intentional, because what they're actually directing me to is that they want you to become stronger in this. They want you to be able to walk out in a mall and be able to pick up on whatever energies you're picking up of and transmute those instantly, to get to that point where you feel it, you recognize it, and then you transmute it. And this is another way that they're showing me shining your light, that you are like a beacon of light walking through this mall, and you sending back energy and transmuting that into love, to truth, to understanding, even expansion of consciousness, the intention of souls awakening, ascending, of course, of their own free will, right? That affects the energy. It's not about, again, they keep on coming back to this, it's not about succumbing It's about taking that energy and transmuting it and molding it and giving it, like it's giving you fuel. It's turning this whole, again, faulty empathy, right? It's turning this whole idea that as empaths, we're disempowered every time we do these things. It's so difficult. It's so hard. Oh my God, the energies are overwhelming. Of course they're overwhelming. They're overwhelming for a reason. They're overwhelming for you to get stronger. That's what I'm hearing. And the wheel is at the bottom. They want me to stop there. Okay, we're not. The wheel is at the bottom of the deck again. How are you transmuting these energies? If you're interested, please leave a comment below. We can get into this a lot more deeply in terms of how to actually do this, like with, you know, some kind of practice, some kind of, I mean, for the most part, I think it's pretty much a matter of awareness and what works for you. Okay, they want me to end on this. This is really important. Everyone has free will. Every soul has free will. And it's interesting because this is something that's actually come up for me recently as well, just in some of the things I've been coming across. So I feel like this is something collectively that's going on as well. When, for example, the idea of praying for someone, this is what they're showing me, or the idea of sending love and light to someone, it's a beautiful idea. But we have to remember that the person that we are sending that to has free will. And they may not want that. They may not want that. This is especially true, what they're saying is like for people, but for praying for people, always ask for permission. I feel like that's something specific that wants to come through. If the other thing too is when you're transmuting these energies, that is part of the intention of what you're doing. You know, you can choose to transmute these energies into love, into truth, into the light of consciousness for the collective of their own free will, if they do want that of their own free will. It's really, really important. I feel like this is something that this is very, very much part of the empath journey. This is a whole other message that I feel at some point will want to come through. Free will and the empath with regard to the faulty empathy of an empath wanting to take care of someone else, wanting to take care of everything, fix everything for someone else is what I mean, right? Because remember, how many times have we been in situations like this where we think or we feel or we believe that this particular person needs this? And you get yourself into a situation where you are overextending your energy, overextending your help. You are also projecting to a certain degree what you think they need or want. And they don't want that. That is an obstruction of free will. Even though it is beautifully intentioned and it is all about you coming from a place of love, there's a very fine line between feeling love for someone and wanting to help them and it being almost a compulsion because you think if you don't do that, you're not a good person. This goes very, very deep, okay? And it's not enough to cover in this video. I hope that you understand what I'm saying here, where I'm coming from. Just remember that respecting an individual's free will is everything. It's everything. It's everything. And this is a huge part of, again, at a much, much bigger macrocosmic level of what this expansion of consciousness here on Mama Gaia at this moment in time is all about. Because what we're seeing repeatedly is a disrespect of people's free will, right? That's going to have what they say to me is like a karmic kickback. It's going to have a kickback because one of the main laws of this universe is that it is a free will zone. It is a free will zone. And when that is violated, there are repercussions, there are reverberations. Like they're showing me a ripple effect. They're showing me a ripple effect in the universe. That's what I'm seeing. Like in the galaxy, I'm seeing energy moving, like almost like a hologram, almost like a, you know, when you see like a really hot day and there's like haze coming off and things go wobbly in the atmosphere. That's what they're showing me, just rippling out. It's all about free will. And that could be a whole other topic here. And that's connected to boundaries as well. They're directing me back to this. That's connected to boundaries. Okay, I'm going to end it there. There is so much that wants to come through for this. I'm already at 30 minutes. If you have any questions about this specifically, please leave a comment below. Please share this video with a fellow empath, especially if you know that there's someone there that's feeling guilty about not doing enough, feeling like they're taking on too much energy. Okay, we are all here for each other. And as empaths, it is incredibly important that we be in this energy. The great gathering, it's all coming together. Intuitive hits, soul, tribe. We need to share our journeys with each other. This is how we help each other. This is how we support each other. And this is how we grow. This is how we grow. We're empaths. We need each other, right? We're built that way. We are simply built that way, okay? I thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Mother Mary, Mama Isette, and the Sisterhood of the Rose for being here with us. I'm sending you so much love wherever you are, in love and liberation, always.